Hello everyone and welcome to the debut of classical music here on Level Up for Charity's YouTube channel. I am Music Man, Music for short, and this program is one that was originally on Twitch, but I decided to move to YouTube to try and help our engagements and content quality. What classical music is, as a program, is it's a series of games that I go through in a Let's Play format, except those games are specifically classic games. What I mean by that is that I consider a game to be classic is if it was originally released at least 2 console generations ago or 10 years ago for PC titles. Now, what I mean by 2 console generations is, for example, the current console gen for the PlayStation side is the PlayStation 5, which means the game would need to have come out for the PlayStation 3. For the Xbox, currently I believe is the Xbox Series X, which means Xbox 360 is the benchmark. And for the Nintendo side of things, you can argue whether or not the Switch 1 or Switch 2 is current. I'm going to go with the Switch 1 since that is still very much what people use considering the price of the Switch 2, which means that the Nintendo Wii would be the benchmark for Nintendo titles. Now, to start things off here, I'm going to be going through a game released in 2004, something that I played a lot growing up on my PlayStation 2, and that is NBA Jam. NBA Jam has a couple of story modes, one utilizing the 2003 roster, while another one utilizes an older roster. I forget which decade, but it definitely is an older decade. And I will try to go through both of them with some slight modifications. For example, I will be playing it as a community-created character, a CCC, if you will, originally made for NBA 2K24, Rodney B, and I repurposed him for this specific playthrough. The story is that he found a time machine that let him go to an alternate timeline where basketball is played in a 3v3 format as opposed to a 5v5. Each quarter is only 3 minutes long, and you can only make substitutions during halftime. Rodney then creates his own team, the Infernos, and signs up for the 2003-2004 season. While the game won't let me bring the Infernos into the campaign, I set these videos up so that the matches line up as if I'm playing the campaign, while effectively using a coin flip to determine if the next game is a home or away game off screen. Other things to note are that this game utilizes hotspots that range from 3 to 7 points based on how often they get used, and there are only 2 fouls in this game: shot clock fouls and goaltending fouls. There's no limit to the amount of fouls that you can create, and this game allows you to be aggressive, knocking people down, just doing whatever means necessary. It is an arcade basketball game, so basically it's all hands go. With all that out of the way, let's get into the game. Alright, and here we are at the Utah Jazz Stadium, where we are going to get a debut team from the new team, the Infernos. Here's the starting lineup for both of the teams. We have Rodney B on the point guard. Next to him is Kobe Bryant, and in the center field is Zydrunas Ilgauskas. And for the Utah Jazz, the starting lineup is Matt Harping, Andrei Kirilenko, and Calbert Cheney. And for the tip-off, we have Infernos with the possession and going in for a dunk, but the alley-oop is there, and Rodney B finishes up the alley-oop for a breakout double, scoring the first 2 points of the match. Now is Utah possession. Rodney getting a little bit aggressive, but Utah Jazz is not having them. Going for the 3, but opting for the alley-oop and goes for another 2 points. So now we have a tie score. Inferno's taking the ball back. Rodney B already calling in a hot spot, but it's going to go to Kobe Bryant for 3 points as he bounces the ball right between his knees, styling all over the Utah Jazz. So now Infernos are up 3 points, going for a simple dunk there, gets rejected by Rodney B. Kobe taking him to the hoop, goes for a simple bucket, another 2 points added to the boards for the Infernos. Jazz needs to do something, going in for a quick dunk. Rodney B tried to block it, but could not. Simple as it is. Rodney B now gets knocked down, and alley-oop gets called, but the pass goes a little bit too late. Oof. But Kobe comes in with the steal, going for a backboard oop, and alley-oop called for Rodney B, and we got the backboard oop. Another 2 points for the Infernos. Score difference 5 points towards the Infernos. Rodney tries to go for a steal, but a lot of shenanigans are happening there, but Harbing does bring it into the bucket for another 2 points. Ronnie looking for another hot spot. Doing a little. Don't even want to know what that's all about. But still, it's 4 points now for the Infernos, secured by Rodney B. Utah Jazz bringing it down to court, going in for a simple dunk. Alley-oop called and could not get the block in time. An alley-oop dunk from Utah Jazz. Kobe now using the backboard. Ronnie going in for the alley-oop, and we get another backboard oop. That is some team play over there, although it does feel a little bit like Rodney wants to have the spotlight for himself, but that is okay because everything is fair game, minus a couple of things. But as neither here or there, 3-point is missed over on the Jazz side. No opportunity to lower the score there. Simple bucket, though, is going to extend the lead over to the Inferno. Harbing bringing it down to Port. A lot of passing going on now. Is Kirilenko going for the dunk. Cheney going for the alley-oop, and we got a breakout oop from the Utah Jazz. 1 minute remaining left in this quarter. And exactly at the 1 minute mark, Rodney goes in for a simple dunk. It's still 2 points on the board for the Infernos. Now up 9 points ahead of the Utah Jazz. And of course, Utah Jazz has to respond with something of their own, so they get another 2 points on the board. Ronnie B trying to bring it down, going for the dunk and the alley-oop. And Igaka's finished it off with a breakout oop. Both teams are now available for a hot spot. Ronnie's looking to get that hot spot going in for himself. And does a little kung fu pose, crane style, I believe, for 5 points awarded to the Infernos. That is definitely a statement to be made. We're down to the last 35 seconds of the quarter, and a hot spot is activated for the Utah Jazz as Harbing goes in for a bicycle dunk, giving 3 points to the Utah Jazz. Simple. That's all that is said. Ronnie tried to go for a dunk, but did not work out in his favor. There instead gets a counter dunked and succeeded for another 2 points on the board for the Utah Jazz. 20 seconds remain. 6 seconds now. I believe not even a second now is separating the shot clock with the game clock. Yeah, 0.7 seconds is the difference between the two clocks. The dunk goes up, but it turns into an alley-oop as another 2 points goes towards the Utah Jazz. Ronnie trying to take it down, gets blocked, but goes for a 3-point shot. It does not go in, but Ilgakas does go for the putback. Another 2 points for the Infernos. Buzzer is here, and the ball does not go in. That'll be the end of the first quarter. Infernos up 30-19 up against the Utah Jazz. We're starting off with another 3-point rebound to the Utah Jazz. Alley-oop doesn't go up, goes for a double alley-oop to start the second quarter finishing off with the one, the only Andre. Now, Inferno's trying to go back in, go for a dunk, then an alley-oop, then another alley-oop, and we got another double alley-oop. This time landed successfully by Kobe Brian. May he rest in power, but that is neither here nor there. Harbing trying to bring down the point, but it gets stolen by Rodney B. Going for a dunk and alley-oop. Tries to go for a double, but it gets rejected. Now it's over to Utah Jazz. Little ball play happening over there. A lot of alley-oops being called, but unfortunately none of them is going to stick. What will stick is an easy layup right down the middle for the Utah Jazz. Score is now inverted 32-23. Hotspot is now available, and it is a flying dunk for 4 points over to the Utah Jazz. That, I think the Utah Jazz is trying to pull up something here, since they are at a bit of a deficit. Alley-oop being called and passed, and the alley-oop lands over for the Inferno side. Trying to go for a simple dunk, but Ronnie B says nope. Harping has the ball. Cheney goes for the dunk, and the alley-oop succeeds there for the Utah Jazz. They are playing a little bit on the back foot tonight. This Inferno team, even though it's a brand new team, definitely has something going for them. Ilgakis tries to go for Alay, but Rodney wants the alley-oop, and Rodney gets the alley-oop. But then again, so does Cheney. And now the point difference is only 5 points once again between the Infernos and the Utah Jazz, favoring the Infernos. However, this dunk right here brings it up to 7 points, favoring the Infernos. We got a bit of a one-sided match, but it's still a good match regardless. Passing and ball playing being done around here, and Utah gets another 3 points now. Scored now only 4 points separating both teams. Rodney's trying to respond with a 3-point of his own and gets it. So back to 7 points we go between the two teams. Harbin brings it down. Kirilenko goes for another shot. Only a 2-point as he was in the 3-point arc for that shot. That's okay. Okay, Rodney gets knocked down, tries to go for the pass, but it gets a turnover over to Harping. Cheney going in for the dunk, gets rejected. Harping now trying to get the dunk and succeeds in getting the dunk onto Rodney, onto Bryant. Less than a minute remains, and the score is only 3 points. It's a one-possession game. Going in for a dunk. Ilgakis gets the final dunk, adding 2 points over to the Infernos. 5 points now separating them at the half. Maybe even more as we still got another 40 seconds. A lot of juking happening. Alley-oop is being called. Double alley-oop. They tried to go for the block, the Infernos, but it is not working out for them. Once again, a one-possession game with 30 seconds left in the half. Rodney going for a dunk. Alley-oop called. Alley-oop pass. Kobe goes for an alley-oop. Rodney goes for an alley-oop. And that is both 10 dunks, and everybody is a winner here this match with so many alley-oops going for the Infernos. And even though it's only 2 points, it's still 2 points towards their lead nonetheless. A dunk goes up, and alley-oop gets called, but it does get rejected. And Ronnie's looking to go for a hot spot, but he gets knocked down. Will he be able to make it to the hot spot? He does, passing the ball around his waist, and 6 points goes towards the Infernos, and we're still not even at halftime, folks. Only 10.5 seconds left for the half. Utah needs to come up with something in order to reduce their deficit. Cheney going for a shot, and it sticks. That is a buzzer beater there. We are now going into the half. We got a substitution coming in from Utah, and I believe we are getting more substitution coming in from the Infernos as well. Looks like, from what I can tell, walking into the arena, Rodney B is going for another half of the game, and Utah kicks off the second half with a dunk, and they're ready for a hot spot already. Ostertag is in for Cheney. And a lot of ball play being passed around, lots of stealing, lots of alley-ooping, and a breakout double is coming in for the side of the Infernos. Now, one thing that the Infernos does have an advantage is that they are at the max roster limit of 5 for this season of NBA Jam. Harbin does go, I believe. No, that's not Harbin. That's Kirilenko. Goes for the big dunk and gets it. Inferno tried to go for a dunk and alley-oop play, but unfortunately gets rejected. Rodney is not having that. He passes it over to Duncan, and Duncan goes for a clean and open dunk for the Infernos. Now the Infernos are up 9 points. Rodney going in, trying to be as aggressive to try to gain control of the ball as much as possible. Gets the steal from the dunk, passes it over to Duncan, who gets another dunk. There's a reason why this man's name is Duncan. So Infernos now up 11 points from Utah, and we're only 1 minute into the third quarter. Alley-oop being called, another alley-oop being called for the Utah Jazz, and it lands. Another 2 points secured, this time by Kirilenko. Fantastic playing from the Utah Jazz. Ronnie tries to bring it down court, passes it to Duncan, who does what Duncan does best, and that is dunking the ball right in the faces of the Utah Jazz. This seems to be more or less a one-sided game for the Infernos. Simple shot up to the basket, gets rejected somehow, I guess, by both the rim and by Rodney, and Rodney just brings it back over to another dunk for the Infernos. Alley-oop being called, another alley-oop being called, but Rodney gets the steal off of it and goes straight for a dunk. And alley-oop being called, but Rodney chooses not to take it. It seems like he wants all the glory for himself, which, if you're going to play all game, you kind of do get a little bit of glory for your name. Another dunk being secured by Kirilenko. And now, Infernos responds with a dunk of their own, led by Rodney B. Fantastic dunk. Dunking right on top of Harping there. Tag, bringing it down court, trying to go in for a layup. Rodney tries to go for the block, but misses it just, and the layup just goes through. That is unfortunate. Artest goes for the dunk, but tries to just release the ball instead for a flashy play, but instead gets met with Kirilenko doing a backboard oop onto the Infernos. The deficit is now at 11 points, favoring the Infernos. Rodney tries to go for a shoot, but misses, and instead Kirilenko punishes that with another backboard oop. Artest tries to run it down, but the ball gets stolen right over to the Utah Jazz, and finishes off with a dunk by Artest. And the hot spot is once again ready. Duncan now bringing the ball down, going in for a dunk. Rodney goes for the alley-oop. Artest go for the alley-oop, and it is a double alley-oop. Started off by Duncan and finished off by Artest for another 2 points for the Infernos. I think they're trying to make sure that Utah does not get the hotspot, but it's too late. Hotspot called, hotspot used, and 5 points will now be added to the scoreboard on the Utah Jazz side. However, the Infernos still maintain full control of this game. 15 seconds left on the board for the third quarter. And another layup going in. 10 seconds left on the clock. Now, Infernos are going down, trying to deny a dunk. Kirilenko goes for the shot. It was still inside the line, so it's only 2 points, but it's still better than no points. Artest tries to go for the buzzer beater, but it was too little too late. We're moving on into the last quarter of the game now. Rodney wanted to do the jump shot, but instead an alley-oop gets called again, and now it is a double alley-oop between Artest and Duncan. Duncan sending it home, adding 2 points over to the board. Score now 71-65 in favor of the Infernos. Kirilenko responds with an alley-oop of his own right on the face of Rodney B, as you saw in that replay over there. Speaking of Rodney B, he is trying to bring the ball back down. Alley-oop gets called to Artest, then to Duncan, then to Rodney, but it gets stolen under Rodney's possession. Utah Jazz now have full control of the ball, but Artest gets the steal once again. Duncan trying to go for a dunk. Rodney B calls for an alley-oop. Artest calls for an alley-oop, and Artest gets the final dunk for the Infernos. 2 points added to their scoreboard, and we're not even a minute left into the last quarter of the game. Hotspot is available for the Infernos. Both teams playing aggressive. It seems like Rodney is trying to give it his best, but it just isn't working out for him. The alley-oop gets called by Kirilenko, and Kirilenko sends it home for another 2 points. Rodney wants the ball to be able to activate the hotspot, but the ball gets stolen. Harping now going for a 3-point, barely misses, and Rodney gets knocked down just for getting the rebound. That is what we call rude. Duncan with possession of the ball gets stolen as he gets knocked out, and Kirilenko sends another dunk over to the Inferno side of the court. Utah trying so hard to make sure that Infernos do not activate their hotspot. Harping with a 3-point shot, misses, gets rebounded by Artest and Duncan, and the hotspot gets called, and Duncan uses it for 7 points for the Infernos. This is a fantastic debut showing for the Infernos team. 80-71. It hasn't been a shutout just yet, but it might as well be. Utah is scrambling just to find some points in this game against this brand new team called the Infernos, but it doesn't seem to be working out for them. Artest tries to do a a layup. No, that was Duncan. My bad. Duncan just tries to do a layup. Didn't work out. Goes for a dunk. Rodney goes for the alley-oop and lands another 2 points for the Inferno. No. Utah Jazz trying their best to keep the Infernos at bay. No, Ostertag gets the dunk. No, dunk from the corner of the court. Rodney goes for a dunk. Alley-oop called too late. Rodney lands the dunk and secures another 2 points for the Infernos. His own team that he created from the bottom all the way to the top. It looks like Infernos are having a really good showing today. Rodney goes for the rebound but gets knocked out, losing the ball and gets dunked on. Hotspot ready for the Utah Jazz. Rodney trying his best to make sure that they don't get that opportunity. Goes in for a dunk and successfully lands it. Now 9-point lead for the Infernos from the Utah Jazz. Ostertag goes in, calls in the hotspot, uses the hotspot, does a little disco in the air, and adds 6 points to the scoreboard for the Utah Jazz. 6 points that are desperately needed for the team. 30 seconds left, less than. Scores 86-83, favoring the Utah Jazz. And alley-oop gets called in and lands for another 2 points. 5 points separated. Rodney B trying to get control of the ball, manages to do so, calls for an alley-oop, and then goes for an alley-oop himself, adding another quick 2 points. 10 seconds left on the clock. 3-point shot from Harping. Not even 3 points. He was still in the 2 line. 6.9 seconds left. That is nice, but that is all said and done. Trying to go for that buzzer beater shot, but is not gonna happen. The final score is 90-5, and with a 5-point lead, the Infernos win their first match of this NBA season. What a match. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the playing that you see here. Here are some of the stat lineups for the Infernos. And again for the Utah Jazz. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget that we will be streaming on Twitch. Oh, here's a little trivia for you. But as I was trying to say, we do stream over at the Twitch, so be sure to catch us out there. Next time you'll be seeing me, Music Man, on there will be Thursday with some Kingdom Hearts Critical Run dubs. Don't forget to tune in for your next level experience. Have a good night, everyone.